Yo, what's up guys, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing every single resurrection in the game, including full resurrection, partial resurrection, and also if the resurrection has a Segunda, I'm also going to be showcasing that. In the top right of my screen, I had the point of view from the target I'm testing on so you guys can see the amount of damage the moves are actually doing. So make sure you look there if you want to see how much damage something is doing. And before we get into the video, if you guys are suffering from high ping, which is terrible to suffer from, especially in type solo ping relying game, then make sure you guys download Gear Up. I got sponsored by them, but it's like actually something I actually use to reduce my ping. And it's what a lot of people actually use to reduce their ping. So if you're ever wondering why people have low ping and you don't, it's because you're not using Gear Up. So I linked it in my description. Just go ahead and download it for less ping. And let's get on with the showcase. Alright guys, we have the Starrk Resurrection, okay? Here are the M1s. This is what it looks like. These are just the normal weapon M1s, but some people just want to see them. For Starrk, we have our X move, which is a giant beam that gives you hyper armor throughout it, and then when it ends, you teleport to them, just like that, okay? For the C move, it's a little dog that follows them around just like that, and when it hits them, it explodes, okay? Now, as for the full resurrection itself, let's activate it. This is what it looks like. Alright, so now we have guns. This is what it looks like. On every single M1, it just shoots like this. Boom, boom, boom. You can switch between gun mode and sword mode with if you just deal enough damage. This is what the Z looks like on the sword mode. It's just some slashes. This is what the X is, okay? And this actually switches between the guns and the swords, okay? Let's do the critical on the guns. There we go. Let's grip him so we can get him back. But yeah, guys, basically the movesets change depending on what weapon you have. This is the sword M1s, by the way. Along with the critical is this. And like the Z is this slash thing right there. You guys can see how much damage it does. And the C, not the dog thing no more, but it just does downward slashes with the sword. And if you want to change your mode, just press X and it will automatically change it depending on if you do enough damage with the arrow. And now you guys can see I have completely different movesets now. So when we do Z, this is what it actually is now. This is the X. It's a giant beam, multi-hitting beam that does a ton of damage. And this is the C. Okay, the C is just multiple wolves. Since he's my party, it didn't aggro on him, but I'm gonna try to do that one more time. Oh, we have our swords back. Let me just get rid of it real quick. All right, there we go. We have our guns. Let me do a C and just multiple wolves like that, okay? Now, let's activate our Segunda so we can actually showcase it. All right, guys, let's activate our Segunda. This is what it looks like. All right, here are the M1s. Boom, boom, boom. You guys can see how much damage it's doing. This is the critical. Okay, very strong. This is the T move. The T move is a giant Zero. Does a ton of damage. Looking top right. This is the G move. Little kill shot where you teleport to them and do exactly that. Okay. Now, as for the other resurrection moves, it's all the same. If I press X, this is what it looks like. Boom. It is very strong. I won't lie to you guys. This is our drip, by the way. We're actually dripped out. And finally, the wolves right there. And yeah, guys, that was the Starrk Resurrection and Segunda Showcase. Let's go on to the next resurrection now. Okay, boys, we are here with the Starrk Resurrection and also the Segunda. Okay, here are the M1s. You guys have seen this many times already. You know, it's a trend for people to use this weapon. I don't know why for rank guards, but let's go in with the Starrk Z move. So the Z move with the Starrk is just a little bullet shark that procs water on them. It just slows them down. Look how slow I'm moving without effect procced on me, okay? Let me show you guys the range for the little bullet for the Z move, okay? He does have partial essence, so it's only 2 partial resin for now, but yeah. This is what the dashes look like. It's somewhat slowed, but just your walk speed slowed when you have that status effect on you, okay? This is what the C move is. The C move is it spawns sharks and attacks you. It's auto tracking, applies bleed. So this is damage over time, okay? So now let's go ahead and use our resurrection voice, okay? Our Starrk Resurrection. So this is what we look like now. Let's do our M1s. It procs anti-heal on every single M1. This is what our critical looks like. This is our Z move. The Z move now shoots 3 bullets that all slow. Look how slow I'm walking now, okay? The X move is a giant AoE where you can go underneath the water and like come out periodically, okay? Look how big that AoE is, okay? You go underneath the water, you're completely immune, and you're like a shark, and you just go underneath the water, okay? As for our C move, this is what the C move is. It is a bunch of barrages of sharks that all apply bleed, okay? And yeah, that's it for the full resurrection. there is a Segunda. So let me show you guys the Segunda move real quick. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the Z move really like gives you a ton of green bar EXP. I won't lie. And this move's just amazing. Like, you're literally like a predator. Not like that, boys. But yeah, let me just charge this stuff up so I can showcase it to you guys. Our bar is now full. Let's use our Segunda. This is what it looks like. Alright. This is what we look like now. Here are our M1s. This is what our M1s look like. Okay, you guys can see the damage. And this is our M2. Okay. As for our Z moves, this is what it is. It's all the same. Let me grip this guy so I can show you guys the full like damage of all the moves. Okay, this is the X move. The X move stays exactly the same in the Segunda mode. Nothing changes about it, just like the Z mode. And as you guys can guess, the C mode stays exactly the same too. So this is what the T looks like in the Segunda mode. It is a giant waterfall that you can like move around just like that, and it does a ton of damage. It's like a long range barrage. And this is what the G move is. The G move is a animation of waves, and oh my god, out of all the places I could have missed, I missed. Okay, let me do that again, guys, so you guys can see the damage of the G move. But giant AoE, pulling this thing, like you can just move this around any place you want and does very decent damage. Also stuns them in it as well, which is very nice. Okay, let me use the G move now, but this time I'm doing like this, so it actually lands. And if you guys look in the top right, you guys are gonna see how much damage it actually does. It makes him go up in the air, and yeah, that's the Segunda. Pretty cool, if you ask me. Applies anti-heal on every M1, and yeah. Alright guys, let's go on to the next resurrection. Okay guys, we have the Phoenix Resurrection. Here are the M1s. You guys already know. Okay, here's the critical as well. So this guy does have partial essence, so I'm gonna be able to show all three partials. So this is the Z move. The Z move is just a AoE scream that inflicts Ryatsu Burn. That's the status effect it inflicts. I'm not entirely too sure what that status effect is. Let me know in the comments, but it's just an AoE, just like that. Let me see how big the range is. Yeah, it just seems pretty normal range, I won't lie to you guys. And you get these cool looking wings too, okay? As for the X move, it's a lunge where you lunge into them and then you slam them onto the ground, inflicting Ryatsu Burn as well, just like that, okay? And finally, for the C move is just you leap into the sky, ground slam, and do a AoE, just like that, okay? That's all there is to the Phoenix Resurrection. Now let's actually pop our Resurrection, okay? So let's pop this right now, and let's see what changed. So this is what we are right now, okay? This is our M1s. We have claws now. So on every hit, we now apply anti-heal. That's what that is. Let's do our critical. It's on normal. Okay, let's see where our Z is now. So our Z looks to be the exact same. Oh, the Ryatsu Burn just gets rid of their Ryatsu, actually. That's what it is. But this is the X now. Oh, okay, that was really fast, actually. Okay, so the X on this resurrection is super fast. Like, you see that hollow over there? I'm about to like just get to him like instantly. Let's do our X. We go super fast, and yeah, it's like it is really fast. Now, as for the C move, this is what the C is. You leap in the sky and just do the exact same thing. The only thing that changes when you pop your resurrection is just the X move. Literally just this, that's it. So yeah, that's really all there is to this resurrection. Let's go on to the next one. Okay guys, we're here with the Pantera Resurrection. Okay, here are the M1s. You guys already know, it's just the regular weapon stuff, okay? Now, this guy doesn't have partial essence, so there's no Z move. But anyways, the X move is a flash step where it's a short flash step, but when you get close to them, basically what it does, guys, is it punches him when you get close. So let me do that again, but actually go to my target this time. Okay, so let's use X, and we're at our target, and boom. That didn't do that much damage, I won't lie to you guys, but it is only partial resurrection. As for the C move, it's just a ranged attack, a claw attack like that. And yeah, that's pretty much to it for the partial res. So let's actually pop our resurrection now. So let's do this. There we go. Alright, so we have a tail now. Here are our M1s. It's all the same. You guys already know. Nothing changed about it. Let's do our Z move. The Z move is a teleport that teleports you to your enemy. Does quite a bit of damage. Has a very low cooldown as well, as you guys can see. Okay. The Sonia Claw is just a flash step again, same exact thing. And the C move is just a 5/ claw thing. So instead of it only being 1 slash, it's now 5 slashes. And what is this guy looking at right now? Like, hello? But yeah, the C move is literally just this. Does decent amount of damage. And yeah, that's really it to this resurrection. I won't lie to you guys. So let's go on to our next resurrection. Okay, guys, we have the light resurrection here. Okay, so doesn't have any passives. These are the M1s. Boom, 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 boom. And this is the critical. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is what the Z move is on the light resurrection. It's just a barrage of little projectiles that they can parry. This is the C move. You hit them, and then you bring them in the sky and do a little ground slam just like that, okay? It's very cool. Now, yeah, that's all it is to the partial res. Now, let's actually pop our resurrection, and let's see what the resurrection's all about, okay? Okay, so let's pop this. All right, boys, so here is our M1s right now. You guys can see the damage in the top right. Here is the critical. All right, so this is the Z move of the resurrection. It's the projectile thing once again. This is the X move. It's a little lunge, and when you hit that, they get sent up to the sky and literally do that, okay? And finally, for the C move, this is what it is. You go up into the air. You charge up your attack that literally everyone can see. You can mouse aim it, choose where you want to like fall, and everyone that's in here gets damaged so much. You guys can just see his health like literally right now, and the range on the Z move is very far, as you guys can see. You can do it from practically anywhere. And yeah, let's charge up our Segunda bar right now so we can showcase the Segunda. Let's activate our Segunda now. This is what it looks like. Okay, very cool. Alright, this is our M1s now. Okay, this is what the M1s look like. Boom, boom, boom. And this is the critical. Brings out stars. This is what the G move is on the Segunda. You leap into the air and do a slam. I should have done it a lot closer, I won't lie. So let me redo that. That's another person with light resurrection, but this is what the T move is. Press T, you do this thing right here, and everybody that's in it will just get AoE damage over time, just like that, okay? As for the other moves, all this stuff is just, you know, this is the same, like this. Nothing changed about that. The X is the same as well. There we go. And as for the G move, let's actually land it this time. Okay, so now he has a little tether on him when you land it, and then when you press G again, it does that. Everybody that has the tether gets hit by a little beam, and it's just a slam that propels you forward. So yeah, that's the light resurrection and also the Segunda. Let's move on to the next resurrection now, boys. Okay, guys, I have the slash resurrection. Slash res has a passive where every hit applies anti-heal, just like this, okay? So let's go over the partial resurrection moves. So when you press C, it's just a little crescent that flies out like that and applies 1 stack of bleed. If you get 4 stacks of bleed, then it'll actually bleed them. So every one of the moves applies bleed, okay, guys? For the X move, you do a rush down slam just like that. And yeah, you grab them and slam them onto the ground. And look, another stack of bleed as well. I don't have the C move, but it's just a barrage of slashes, I won't lie to you guys. And it can be used as a combo extender. So let me show you guys the X one more time. So as long as you click them, you'll grab them and slam them onto the ground, okay? And the C, and yeah, that's all there is to it. Let me show you guys the full resurrection. Oh, I did not mean to do that. All right, let me show you guys the full resurrection of this move. All right, so this is what we look like. This is our M1s. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, this is our M1s. And this is our critical. Okay, so the Z move is just 3 slashes now. 3 long range 1, 2 stacks of bleed as well. Now the X move now gives you full hyper armor for when you use it. Full hyper armor, and it's a bigger slash that does a lot more damage. You guys can just see the damage in the top right as well. And the C move is just the barrage. It's the same as the partial resurrection if you had the C move for that. And yeah, that's really it, guys. I won't lie to you guys. And we proc bleed there. And yeah, that's all there is to the slash resurrection. So let's move on to the next resurrection now. Okay, guys, we have the devil resurrection over here. So these are the M1s, okay? And then this is the critical, just so you guys know. So now for partial moves. This is the Z move. The Z move is a teleport that does a little punch at them and teleports you to them, okay? And then the X move, there's 2 variants of the X move. The first variant is if you just tap, it just does an uppercut like that. But if you tap again, you guys will see in a second. All right, if I press X and then M2 midway, it turns into that, which is a very powerful slash, okay? It also block breaks if they're blocking as well. So now let's pop the Resurrection, boys, okay? All right, let's pop the Resurrection. There we go. This is what it looks like. Here are the M1s. Nothing too crazy. Here is the M2. Okay, so this is what the Z move is now. It's still the same teleport, okay? This is what the X move is. Still the same uppercut, just more powerful, I guess. And this is what the C move is. The C move is a laser beam that ragdolls them. And it also has a variant where if you do it while in the air, that has an airborne variant. So let's get him up in the air real quick. Or we can just jump while using it. This is what the X move is. Still the same. And this is the X move with the M2. Still the exact same. And the C move, it's just a ragdoll laser beam thing. It has a in the air variant where when they're in the air and you use it, instead of ragdolling them, it'll just keep them in the air. It's the exact same move, but without the ragdoll. And yeah, it's literally, guys, the full resurrection is nothing special. It's literally the exact same. Like, there's nothing changing about this except for maybe more range. And yeah, it's pretty, this full resurrection is pretty unfinished. I won't lie to you guys. So that's it for the Devil Resurrection Showcase. Let's go on to the next one. Okay, guys, we have the Vampire Resurrection right now. Here are the M1s. Let's just do this. Okay. Now let's do the critical. Boom. All right. So for the Vampire Resurrection, there isn't any passives for the partial res, but it does apply anti-heal on when it moves. So let's go over that, okay? So what the first move is Payday. When you press Z, you get flown up in the sky like that, and you do a AoE bolt like that, which is pretty hard to get out of because when you use that bolt, it sucks them in, and yeah, they just once they're in it, all they can do is just block it or parry it if they are skilled enough. But it's very low cooldown and very fast. Like, let's do it again. Boom. So Payday is definitely really strong. And whenever you use a move, you also get wings, right? Now, as for the X move is a dash just like this, which you dash into your opponent and it heals you a little and also steals some of their Ryatsu. Okay, so let me show you guys the healing. So let me damage myself real quick. Boom. All right. So now you guys are going to see I'm about to get healed right now. Boom. I got healed a little bit. Now, moving on to the C move. The COE is a AoE scream where you scream everyone around you. Apply anti-heal to everyone that's all around you. Oops, that was in a party. Hold on. Let me do that again. Here, let me damage myself so I can show you guys this move, okay? So, on the C move, it's a big AoE that applies anti-heal to all your enemies around you. And if you actually hit them while they have anti-heal, you take a bite out of them and heal a little, which is why I took damage, which is why I damaged myself so I can show you guys how much health I have, okay? Now, for the full resurrection, let's pop it real quick. So, we're popping it. This is what it looks like, okay? Pretty cool. Here are M1s now. Let me use it on this guy right here. Every M1 now applies anti-heal. This is the critical. It's a giant beam, just like that. Now, this is what Payday is now. So when you press Z, let's do this, and boom. It's a giant... It's basically the Payday before, but like really bigger. You also get claws on your feet. The X now heals you 10%, but loses its hyper armor, just like that. And the Echo, it remains unchanged. When I hit them, I get my healing back. Now, we also have Segunda on this as well. So let me just fill up my Segunda bar real quick. So let me just do that real fast. All right, we have our bar filled. When we press K, this is the Segunda. Boom. This is what we look like. Okay. Little angel now. This is what Feather Drop is. You go into the air. You do a giant AoE ground slam. Just like that. They get a little stat effect on them right there. Now, if we press G, this is what the G does. It's a giant... It's literally Payday, but 1,000 times bigger, okay? Now, as for Payday and stuff like this, like all this stuff, it remains the exact same. Oh, he's already knocked. But yeah, now we just have Feather Drop and the G move. This is what the M1s are, by the way. Applies anti-heal on every hit. It's Fist now. This is what the critical is, by the way. It's a giant AoE move that is multi-hit and also gives you hyper armor, so it's very good to get out of combos. Let's go on to the next Resurrection, boys. Okay, guys, we have the Spirit Resurrection right here. So here are our M1s, okay? And here is our critical. So this is the Z of the Spirit Resurrection. So when you use it, it's a barrage of punches, and then you leap in the air and slam them down just like that, okay? Now, for the X move, you can either just press X once and do that, or if you hold it down, it will make it become bigger. And let me just show you what happens when you hold it down, okay? So this is what happens when you hold down the X move. You know, you charge it up, and you guys can just see how much damage it does in the top right when this actually lands. Let it go once it disappears, and boom, okay? And then as for the C move, when you hit them, it sends them away with a kick, and then you teleport to them and do a Saro just like that, okay? So that's it for the partial resurrection. Now, as for the actual resurrection itself, this is what it looks like, okay? There we go. We look like Goku Black. This is the M1s. Doesn't look like there's any special M1s. This is the critical, okay? Now, this is the moves for the resurrection, okay? So you don't even have to be next to them anymore, as it will just teleport to you with the kicks and then do a devastating blow just like that. So you don't even have to be up close and personal no more. As for the X move, this is what the X is. It's still the same, but it's still the same when you tap it. Let's see if it's the same when you charge it up. All right, let's charge up our Spirit Gun. Let's see how big it can get now inside the resurrection mode. All right, let's see. Okay, it's still the same size. And let me check the range on the Z move. Okay, yeah, the range on the Z move is pretty strong. It's literally a teleport. And this is the C move. The C move is right here. You kick them into a barrage just like that. It seems to be the exact same. So yeah, that is the resurrection mode of Spirit, okay? There's no Segunda, so there's no TNG. So that's the showcase. Let's move on to the next resurrection, boys. Okay, guys, we have the Storm Resurrection. Here are the M1s. It's the exact same as the menu I've seen before, okay? So for the X move, this is what the X move is. You cover your legs in lightning and teleport to anyone that was next to you. And this is the C move. The C move, you just teleport in front of you, and basically anyone that's there, you just damage. So let me show you guys the C move on myself right here, okay, guys? And also the Z move, what it is, it's just like Blitz from the Shikai. It just teleports you to them and doesn't do damage. But let's do the C move on this guy, and yeah, it just hits him like that. It doesn't do that much damage. As for the little balls that go on me, guys, as you guys can see here, these are stacks. And basically what this does is every single time I land a move, or every single time I land battery, it gives me more stacks. And these stacks are used to empower some moves, like the C move. Now, let's use our resurrection. Let's see what it is. Alright, guys. So, for the Z move, it's a insta teleport. And that's what it does if you have 0 stacks, okay? It's just a single hit. Let me show you guys the M1s, by the way, for this. Boom. This is the critical, stuff like that. Alright, guys, so the C move now, it's the same, but now it's very low cooldown. Like, look how much I can spam it. I can spam this C so many times, and now, guys, look at me. I have max stacks. Look how I look like with max stacks. These are the M1s. So now when I press Z with max stacks, oops, I missed it. But let me show you guys what the C move is with max stacks. It does this, and it's just a leap into the air, and it's a giant AoE, and that's what it does with max stacks. So basically, when you're in this mode, you just want to build up max stacks, and it's very spammable, as you guys can see. Let's do the Z move now, and yeah, that's what happens when you have max stacks and use the Z move, okay? Alright, since you got knocked last time I did this, let me show you guys the max stack Z move. So, or this, actually. Okay, so let's just use our Segunda now. So let's get our Segunda before it runs out real quick, because Storm does have a Segunda. So let's press K now. Once it's maxed, let's press K. This is the animation. And alright, so we're literally a one-piece character now. Okay, let me show you guys the M1s. This is what it is. Okay, this is the critical. Nothing special about it. This is now the T. The T, I think we missed it actually, but this is the G now. The G is a big AoE that slams down lightning. Let me move the characters. When you do that move, look at him. He's crippled. He can't flash step or nothing, and he's super slow. As for the Z move, it's the teleport again. Let me use the T move once again. Boom. And there we go. We actually landed it this time. And you guys, does a code animation that one-shot him. He is literally one-shotted right now and crippled and everything. Look at this guy over here. Big AoE that teleports me to him based off how much stacks I have. Oops, I used the wrong move, actually. Here, boom, big AoE. The battery still has no cooldown at all. Like, I can just spam it very easily. And yeah, like, this boy is already knocked. So yeah, all the moves are still the same except for the G and the T. These are new, obviously. And yeah, that's Storm Segunda. Let's move on to the next resurrection now, boys. Okay, guys, we have the Volcanica resurrection. Okay, here are the M1s. Okay, here is the critical. There we go. Alright, guys, so let's go over the moves. So the Z move is a little lunge where when you hit it, it brings you up in the air and slams the ground. They get set on fire, so they get damaged over time. So as for the X move is a lunge into the air and a giant ground slam. It's a little bit of an AoE, and of course they get set on fire one more time. This guy doesn't have partial resurrection, so I can't show you the C move, but it's just like 3 pillars of flames in front. So let's go ahead and pop our resurrection now, boys, and show you guys what it looks like, okay? So here's the M1s. Nothing crazy. It's just like regular M1s, I won't lie to you guys. And now this is the Z move. The Z move is the exact same thing as the Z move before, except the AoE is a little bit bigger. Oh, but I think it actually glitched. Actually, let me redo the Z move because the AoE should have been a lot bigger actually. So let's do the Z move. You go super fast, and yeah, the AoE is 1,000 times more bigger. I won't lie. The X move, this is what it looks like. It's another slam into the ground, but it's just bigger. And also the volcanic trail like makes you super speedy, just like that, right? Alright, guys, and finally for the C move, this is what the C move is. It is a slam into the ground, and 3 flames from all sides, all 4 sides, appear and just spread out. So let me do that one more time. You guys can actually see. Yeah, as you guys can see, that's what the C move is. Mostly AoE stuff, and also a really good speed move like that. So that's the resurrection, boys. Let's go on to the next resurrection now. Okay, guys, we are here with the Arrogante resurrection. Okay, this resurrection is very unfinished, but the Z move, he doesn't have partial essence, but it's just a counter. Okay, the X move is a hyper armor slash that has a chance to either apply a debuff to the arm, which reduces his damage he deals to me, or 1 to his leg. Okay, it's a 50-50 chance, and if it applies to his leg, then it stops him from flash stepping, which is amazing. Oh, I forgot to show the M1s. Here are the M1s, by the way. Okay, here, let's try to get the leg injury real quick so I can show you guys. No, that's still arm. But look at the damage I get dealt when he has an arm injury. It's actually nothing. Okay, let's wait until we get leg injury. I think we got it. Yep, and now I can't flash step at all because I have a leg injury. So, it's very strong. As for the C move, it's just a short range grab that just grabs them and is used to combo extend. It's pretty okay. Let's actually pop resurrection now and let's show you guys what it looks like. Go. So this is the Z move. It's just a counter, like I said before. If they were to hit me, I'll show you guys what it does. As for the X move, it's that thing. It's like a dash into a slash. It cripples them as well with both injury stats effects this time, the arm and the leg. Okay, and the C move is just another grab, just the same exact grab actually. Let me show you guys what the counter actually does as well. Also leaves this lingering effect. So let's do the counter. There we go. We countered it. We shot a little bullet and it hit him. Okay. And let me just show you the X move one more time. It is a pretty long range slash that makes you a little bit speedy and applies both stat effects. And that's really it for this resurrection. It's very unfinished, boys, for a legendary. So yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next resurrection now, boys. Okay, guys. We have the bone resurrection here. Okay. Here are the M1s. Okay. Here's the critical. There we go. Okay. Let me show you guys the Z move for the partial res. So basically, it's like this little bone thing that you throw out, and if it hits them, it'll do that. But even if it doesn't hit them, if it just lands on the ground, it will. Let me just show you guys. So if I don't even hit them, I just do this instead. Oh, that was too far. All right, so if I don't hit them, I just do this instead. It'll still go to them, and yeah, okay, just decent damage. This is what the C move is. It's just a little AoE thing. Okay, now let's pop our Bankai. Let's pop the Bankai right here. There we go. So here are the M1s now. Okay, this is what it looks like. This is the critical, little scream that gives you hyper armor and block breaks. This is now the Z move. Okay, it goes out in all directions, and you guys can just see it's very buffed. This is now the X move. It's a teleport with a very long range, and this is now the C move. Boom. It just goes in like that. Okay. Also, guys, with the X move, when you teleport to them like this, it procs bleed. It puts a bone in them, procs bleed. So it's very nice. And we're gonna have our Segunda here in like a second. All right, there we go. We have our Segunda. Let's pop it. This is what it looks like. Okay. we have a little crown above us. And let's do our M1s. This is what it looks like. This is the critical. Oh my, right, he gets impaled, okay? All right, let's do our T move now. So the sharp bow, if you hit him, this is the animation. Oh, right, he was getting pushed against the wall. Pause. All right, and now this is the G move. It's a giant AoE that does that. Let me just make him come over real quick. So he actually has more health, so you guys can actually see the real damage of it. But we look like a Tokyo Ghoul character with these little things behind us, okay? Now that he's fully health, you guys can see the true damage. So when you press Z, it makes your bones all black. That did a literal bar on him. When you press X, this is what it looks like. Black bones. It still procs bleed. This is the C move. It's still unchanged from the resurrection, as you guys can see. This is what the T move is when he's not pushed up against a wall. This is the animation. Okay, and now this is the G move. When you do the G move, it's a giant AoE that, you know, if there was multiple people, it'd hit multiple people. And he's rate 2 bars. So yeah, guys, this is the Segunda of Bone, and that was the Resurrection Showcase of Bone. So let's move on to the next Resurrection now, boys. Okay, guys, we're here with the Acid Resurrection, okay? Let me show you guys the M1s real quick. This is the M1s, okay? This is the critical. Nothing special, it's just a regular weapon stuff. Alright guys, so the Z move of Acid is when you press Z, you throw a ball of acid at wherever your cursor is, okay? The acid status effect does damage over time if they stay within it, and you guys can see the health in the top right, okay? Alright, so the C move is, if you hold it down, you're immune to all damage, and then it charges up the ball and releases a ball of acid that does damage and also poisons them, okay? So if I swing here, and I press C, you'll see that I didn't get damage at all. Instead, I just threw back acid at the guy, okay? So now for the X move. The X move is just an AoE that is a poison cloud. They can run out of it like this. And yeah, they just get poisoned still though, okay? Alright, the poison cloud also follows you around just like this. So it's pretty good. Now, as for the resurrection, this is what it looks like. Let's pop it real quick. Okay, so this is the resurrection. This is what we look like. The M1s are the exact same. Nothing special at all about them. So for the Z move, you leap into the air and you just rain down balls of acid just like that, okay? As for the X move has 2 variants, where the first variant is on the ground. It releases balls of acids and they all explode at once, and also ragdolls just like that. Okay, pretty good. And then let me show you guys the other variant real quick. This variant is you slam down on the ground and you do a purple cloud that is massive this time and still follows you, by the way. And finally, the C move. I'm gonna tell this guy attack me. So when he hits me, I nullify all damage and I release the damage back. So when I hit him, he's got dealt all his damage that he got dealt, like he was dealing to me. So yeah, guys, that's really it about the Poison Showcase. Okay, guys, that was all the Segundas and Resurrections in the entirety of the game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I spent a lot of time on it, and bye-bye, guys.